Hello, my name is Koen Koppenholle. I'm the Chief Executive of Cemburo, the European Cement Association. And I'm pleased to congratulate the Korean Cement Association for its first Cement Day. I've been very impressed with the miraculous growth of the Korean industry and economy over the past 70 years, actually since the 1950s Korean War. The development of the industry in Korea and society at large is also due to the efforts of industry in addition to the efforts of the Korean people. And amongst the industry is of course the cement and concrete industry. Cement and concrete are essential materials in building society of the future. We're talking about housing. We have to make sure that people can all benefit of the safety of their houses, but also that they can send their skilled children to schools, that they can have the benefit of hospitals where they can receive care, and the infrastructure which brings people together, road infrastructure, airport infrastructure, and then the energy that makes society turn around. Energy which is built of concrete, made in cement, built in concrete. And that is true for windmills. The foundations of the windmills are in concrete. That is true for nuclear installations. That is true for LNG terminals. Worldwide, we produce 4 billion tons, even over 4 billion tons of cement. That is a large volume. But the production of cement and concrete is also an activity that emits CO2. It's energy intensive, it's CO2 intensive. And as an industry, we need to take up our responsibility and to make sure that we comply with environmental requirements, climate change requirements that are being imposed and are being put forward by governments around the world. And let me take you to the European Union. Cemburo, European Cement Association, has issued a roadmap where we aim to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050 with intermediate targets of 30% CO2 emission reduction by 2030 and 40% over the value chain, 30% over cement, 40% over the value chain. When I'm talking value chain, I'm also referring to the 5C framework that we used for that roadmap. 5 Cs represents each of the 5 stages of our value chain: clinker, cement, concrete, construction, and carbonation. And for each of these stages, we look at what levers we have to reduce our CO2 emissions. We look at increased use of alternative fuels, carbon capture and storage, carbon capture and use. We are assessing how we can further reduce the clinker content in cement without compromising the strength of the end product. And we're working with the construction sector to look at how we can optimize the use of concrete in buildings. Carbonation, which is now also recognized by the IPCC, is another element where we hope that the assessment throughout the life cycle can help us as a lever to reduce CO2 emissions. We are framing our roadmap in the larger perspective and ambition of the European Union to bring society at large to carbon neutrality by 2050, and we are proud to play a constructive role and proactive role in that debate. And that's what I would think is also the topic of the first Cement Day of the Korean Cement Association. We cannot do this on our own, the whole decarbonization and transformation of our industry. It requires a consultation and a dialogue with stakeholders. Stakeholders that is society at large, but stakeholders that is also the governments. Governments that need to understand our journey and the path to decarbonization, that need to indeed believe in the efforts we do, and that is something that we need to make clear. We need to be transparent, we need to be clear in what we do to move our industry on the path to decarbonization. And I trust and I hope that the discussion today and on your first cement day, that we are indeed part of the future and that we can continue to provide the products that society of the future will need. Thank you very much.